Welcome back, guys. New episode of SpaceChem. We were on Hephaestus, so I've solved the missing puzzles to make it a bit faster, but I'm gonna explain what I did. If I remember well, we have these three that I need to explain. Okay, so this one's the next one. All right, so in this one we have the input is carbonated chains and water. This is and with it we need to make OCO, CO2 basically, and CH4. All right. So how did I do that? I only used one, as always, mine is always spaghetti. So I only used one since everything is just carbon based, and we can use how can I say? Here's my thinking. I thought that we should put all the carbons on the right. So if we put these four, basically we try to transform all the chain to 4 on the right. That's the goal. If there is one on the left, we're going to take it out and drop it. So we're going to see how it goes. So if it's a C, we grab drop, but if they, so we generate, we don't have any sensor in this one, we only have mergers. All right. But I probably could have done it with yeah, I definitely could have used the sensor, but I felt like more interesting to use it this way. So this is the only way in. So after that we try to grab and drop it here, so we're sure that if it's this one is on the right. After that we sync. So if it's this one, we're gonna grab it here, double rotate it, and position it at the bottom here. So the blue one is only responsible for collecting these three, and the red one is responsible for the rest. So if it was this chain at the top, we have a C, so we're gonna grab it. If it was this one, we actually didn't do anything, we're just gonna grab it here, that's this grab, and we're gonna go all the way to the end. And if it was this chain, we rotated it and we positioned it in this location, so we also grabbed it here. And you're gonna see. So okay, that's the blue is finishing the job, and the red's waiting for the blue to clean up the mess. Okay, we have the top one here. We're going to double rotate it and position it at the bottom place. Okay, and then we take with us the last C. We take this C with us. We always take this one with us. Otherwise, if we didn't take anything here, we're going to be able to grab this one here, which is this one. Okay, so one of the good things of doing it this way is that we can just use the destroy the bonds here for all of these ones. So let's see. The blue continues, so in this case the blue just wastes one loop and continues here. It's not very efficient, but it's just using one reactor. It doesn't need a sensor, and we don't split whatever, we just transform everything to carbons in a chain, in a row. Okay, that's the same element, we saw this one again. Okay, can we get the last one? It's this situation. Okay, so it's this situation. Here we grab drop, there's nothing to be done, it was for this one. Here we sync grab, there's nothing to grab because it's not this one. Rotation's gonna be doing nothing. We just grab the C here. Alright, just like just like in the other case. Get rid of it, and the blue one's responsible for collecting the remaining ones. Okay, that's for the first part. So we use one reactor for everything to carbon. To be noted, I only use 4 reactors, but we are allowed to use 5. For the oxygen is the good old loop, transforming water, into hydrogen and oxygen. Okay. After that, so how did I sing this? So as you can see, there's no waste here. Everything needs to be transformed, right? If I'm not mistaken. We probably have a lot of C's. What do we do with the remaining C's? There should be a trash somewhere that I don't see. I don't remember fusing anything in this one. I know. All the extra C's are being bonded with oxygen, so in any case, not gonna block anything. Like these two are two different elements. But we could have a case where, since we output two times, but you see we output 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. So in terms of usage, this water is going to be consumed, and we cannot have like some kind of a desynchronization of usage here. Like the oxygen is going to lack or the hydrogen is going to lack. So it's not the problem. We just transform everything to carbon. And after that, we just need, so this one is also transforming to HO. And this one is very simple. Just take carbon and hydrogen and make the whole shape. So it's just like the typical moving around and just, yeah, it's as simple as that with some synchronization. For this one is even easier. It's just some let's wait, it's gonna come soon. 1 carbon's coming, oxygen, bind, double bind, drop it, and back to the start. This one was overall quite easy, especially with this thing. If you can handle all the carbonated chain in one loop, you're good. I think, let me see, as you can see, we produce enough carbon for everything. I don't believe that we can do much better in terms of loop, as some people still did. Some amazing people still did. What could we have improved? This one I already tried my best. This one I feel like the carbon is not the limiting product, the limiting source. It's this reaction making the H. Yeah, indeed, this one can be improved, I agree. I did my best, but this probably can be improved by just bringing things closer. As you can see, the start grab, maybe there's a way. All these loops can be collapsed to the left, but I use some place to put the pause thing here. Anyway, I don't aim for the perfect result, just something okay, we're good on this one. Next one was the optional. What did I do on this one? Okay, this one was kind of very complicated in my opinion. I know it's optional for a reason, but like at first it looked easy, and then when you found out that the boron here doesn't have a link here, then everything starts to be a bit of a mess. So we have this chain, and my idea was to transform it to a line of Si, 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 especially since one of the elements uses the Si, the silicon. Yeah, we just the first reactor is just, yeah, transforming everything and trashing the oxygen. In this case, the oxygen is not used at all, and no fusion is gonna be worth anything. So it's all about getting rid of the oxygen, and we trash it as soon as it's done. And at the same time, we actually making a how can I say? The idea here is so we bring the whole molecule here, and then since this is the exhaust, we can just trash all the oxygen, and the goal was to get the silicium out of this quarter, or to have it carried. So that's exactly what's going to happen. So at first, we carry a silicon that is very easy to take. Here we unbind it, and we already get it out. We drop it here. We drop it here, and then we're gonna grab the other ones to make sure that they are held by a welder, and they're not going to be consumed. So now we have these two held. The top one is the first one to disappear. So I don't know how it works, but I believe that this is just like this. It's going to output. Yeah, it's just like a line, like a book, right? Normal left to right writing. Sorry. So this one should be no. I don't exactly know how they choose, but it's deterministic. I found that. So after that, once you know if you need to escape this way, that way, you just adapt your loop. And then, so while they were in this area, we already removed all the oxygen. Now we're gonna place everything back. And as soon as we arrive here, drop it, sync it, bond it, and drop it. Okay, that's the ID. I didn't try to over optimize again this one. I don't know if it's limiting or what. Okay, the second one is about making D3, so there's nothing complicated here. We just push it to the bottom until the sensor fills it. So I had two ID at first. Let's see. Okay, and now we just drop it. We drop it at the bottom right to give some extra space. We don't drop it at anyway. So I had two ID over this. You see, we need to serve this one, that one with the boron 3 links, that one with the arsenic 4 links around. Right. So my first idea was to maybe make some crowns and separate the silicium from one of them. So instead of building this molecule, we could have built the crown. And you see we even have an exhaust here available, so we could have output the silicium here. And then we could have reintroduced it in another reactor, but in the end I found that it was not necessarily the right direction. At least I didn't have enough reactor to go this way when I made my calculations. Instead, what I did is, after that I used the typical splitter that we have built in the previous video. So this one's gonna be 2 to the bottom and 1 to the top. So that's correct, because you see we need 1 in the top and 2 to the bottom, because the bottom's gonna be used to make these two molecules. They have something in common, is that we only need to replace the central element. Okay, so at first I thought it was going to be easy, but in the end I found that it was not that easy to make. Let's wait and see. So here was my idea. When you arrive here, you can either work on how can I say, getting rid of the silicone immediately by just holding the rest of the shape, and yeah, and just, how can I say, I wanted to output, how can I say, in terms of trash, we would have in this one, to make this one, we need to trash one silicone. So it's gonna be forwarded to the next one, but it's not a problem. Why? Is because we already have so many links that we can work with sensor reactors. We don't need very big reactors. And just a second. So we have so many links that we know that in the next ones we don't need to work with the big link reactors. I mean the super bonder reactors. So so that's just a second. So yeah, so that's the so that's the thing. At first I thought when I arrived here, that's only at that time that I found out that boron here has only 3 links, so it's gonna be more complicated than I expected originally. How did we do that? We could work, like I said, on this area So here we immediately trash the silicone, the single silicone, when after we unbind everything, and all we can work on this area, like remove a piece of it, and then after that rebind everything basically. So my decision was to get rid of the silicone first and then to see later. So the first loop is kind of trivial. We just release everything, unbind everything, and then we're going to flush the single silicone and then flush the crown, the circle. Let's wait. How many cycles we need to see it going. And so at first I thought that, okay, maybe I should just forward this one to the next one and handle this on the next one. But it would just make this, how can I say, we would still have to remove the center silicone in the next reactor. So if we can remove the center silicone in this one, the next one that is going to be used for the boron would be easier. So here what happens is we have the molecule arrive here, we bring it here. As you can see, it's being held here, so the center silicone is going to get out. Then we drop it here and we flush it at the bottom there. Okay, it's going to be handled there in the next reactor. And now we start a second loop, okay, the most complicated one, where we will regenerate another one. Waiting for a new input here. Okay, this time we grab it at the center because let's see, I think there's a reason why I grab it at the center. Ah yes, so instead what I did is I've used the right part of this to unlock the left silicone and get rid of it immediately. Then I move the whole molecule to the left, and since I grabbed this one already, I can just take it away already. So we're gonna be able to put this one here. So we take it away and we're going to fuse it with the arsenic here. Rotate it and put it in position. All right. So after that we drag it back. Why did I need to drag it, by the way? Yeah, I know. Actually, the drag. Yes, we drag it because we need to unbind this so that the binding after that we make the molecule correct. So we unbind the left side. There is no consequence on this part, and then we will put it back in position and bind it to get the final molecule, and we drop it. Okay. Now this is a ending molecule, and then this one actually is not very complicated, if I remember well, because we have the crown already. We just have a sensor here, so if it's silicone we just trash it here, and if it's silicone, so we forward it because we didn't have enough exhaust in the previous one, and if it's silicone we trash it here instantly. It's just about a sensor here, as you can see. It's just a bit too fast already. And come on. So The good thing, the reason why I wanted to remove also the center is because if you're using a sensor reactor, you only have a way to create three bonds maximum. Okay, whatever you do, you're only gonna have 3 bonds maximum. That's good because the boron only has 3 around. Okay, if we had to, if we didn't do that, we would have to carry the molecule around to make it, because we needed a sensor anyway to get rid of this silicon. We could still have this one output somewhere, and then each time we make a loop, maybe we can trash this one, because it was 1 for, no, actually it was 2 for 1. So we would have to catch one, catch a second one, and then we knew that only the molecule would remain. Yeah, we just deliver it here, and then same for the, when we get the silicone. Let's see. You see silicone is just trash when we detect it with the sensor. Okay, and that's it. We get the 3 molecules. This one from the original divider. From the original divider, and that's it for this one. That was the challenge, right? I have to say that this one was complicated to me. What about the result compared to other people? I guess in Psycho is not bad. Yeah, I always use more symbol. So last one is the defense. Of this planet. So it's like some kind of arachnid. So as always, I'm only going to control things if I need to. Although, because it's just about adding some specific control things, inputs. I don't feel very interested in this. So this is what we have originally. We have Xenon. Xenon is, we have plenty of it, so we just pipe it all the way inside. Okay, we could think of, if we had to, we may move it to, how can I say, the Xenon could pass by a reactor that is only using like the 1 input, 1 output, to add a control there, so we can choose when the Xenon arrives, because as far as I know, it's the Xenon arrival that triggers the exhaust. We have aluminum oxide as input, and we have a second arrival, which is not aluminum oxide, sorry. The first, we have one, so besides the xenon that can be piped directly, everything is made from one input that needs to be split, and as you can see, we have a very limited amount of reactors. So we have to be very careful with what we're doing, and we try to do as many things as we can in one reactor. The first one still is about splitting these two, okay? Once we split these two, why do we split these two? Is because there's no way we can use the oxygen to make things, as far as I know, to increase the number of ammunition we're gonna get there. Basically, we can just trash these 3 elements and just keep the CR. What is it? This symbol. The CR. And then in terms of fusion, we cannot really afford to fuse anything. We have so limited amount of reactors, so better trash than try to optimize everything. And we also have a recycler if we need. So the first thing is all about splitting. Second one is all about getting the chromium. CR is chromium. Okay, the chromium out of that molecule. So very simple. It's just some basic, we bring it here, we rotate it, we grab it from the chromium directly, we rotate it so everything is inside this area by the time we reach here. And then we just give an information to the blue Waldo to just get rid of, output all the shit once we left with the chromium. and then the loop continues. Okay, I don't know if it's yeah, it's blocking, which means that we're fast enough on this one. Okay, so it's done already. We have the chromium for the final thing. Just to tell you that we don't have 4 reactors, actually we got 3, because we have the laser itself, which is a special reactor that only has 1 input, and no, the 2 inputs are here. Okay, and all of this is gonna be for firing. Okay, so it's kind of special. It's kind of special. You get your 2 inputs here. Yeah. So in the end, we have these chains based on the aluminum oxide and the chromium going there. Okay. So all of what I noticed is, at first I wanted to make, if you check the molecule, at first I wanted to make something like that. You know, like half of it, like a L, basically. So like this. Oh, so AO, 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 and then AO, AO, AO. And the problem is that this length is 5, and we cannot have an input that have 5. So we need to work on 4. So instead, I just went a bit more square. So OL, OA, 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 and then OA, OA, OA. That was my goal for this reactor, making the 2 L's, and it's been complicated, but I managed to do it. But I cannot output these 2 at the exact same place. That's the only limit I had here. Let's wait. So this is how I made this one. So we're gonna need 3 molecules like this. Okay, there's one that's gonna be 2. We're gonna only keep this chain. This one's trashed and this one's trashed. We only keep this chain. The first loop is gonna be for using this one. The second loop is going to finish this one. Okay, it's going to generate another one, finish this one, and prepare for this one. We will have these 2 remaining from the second loop. Hey. 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 Is a monster. Baby cats. So yeah, so let's see it work actually. So the how can I say, you will see it work, just it's going to be easier to explain. But my thinking was that the red's job is like something that's being driven by the blue loop. Okay, so the red job is to get rid of the bottom oxygen, get rid of the top oxygen, and position this one here. Okay, the rest should be positioned in this area to be merged. Okay, so let's see how it goes. The red one gets rid of the top oxygen. We're moving forward on the blue one because in the there's how can I say, my thinking was that the second loop, when we need to make the two halves there, we want the red loop to just skip this one, so it's gonna try to grab something, but it's gonna be empty. That is why we have one extra synchronized here. All right, so let's just see it run. So the first loop is this one. We rotate it, put it in position. Okay, and we get back to the beginning, to the start. Okay, now we're on the second one. We still let the red do its cleaning part. Okay, get rid of the O's, the top and the bottom O. But this time when we reach the synchronized, the blue is not gonna give it give the red loop the immediate agreement to pick it up and position it. So the blue one at that time takes control. It's gonna drag it here, and while it drags it away, it's gonna break it in two and bind it here. Okay, and bring it here. Just bond it with the one down there that was positioned. All right, and then only now do we give the information to the red one. It's been grabbing nothing, dropping nothing. That's a dead loop here, and so that this is the last loop. So we take the bottom O again. I had to separate them because they fought crazy. She's angry, yeah, they are angry with each other. So yeah, the second O is being taken away. Now we still let the red one position the missing one, and while it's positioning it, we're taking the final one. At that time we bond it. Same, we do one extra, a bigger loop this time. There's a little subtle thing here, is because I grab it at the O. That's how we can make it happen, is because we don't grab it at the exact same position. So we don't end up at the exact same thing. That's why we can loop like this. So at that time I drop it and grab it again, so I hold it here. Otherwise, if we have the O, it's gonna collide to the right if we have the oxygen. So this way we can drop it here and finish the loop. But like I said, it's not perfect because we still have, I mean, it's okay-ish because it's 1-1. So it's not like a 50%, 50%. It's really one of the top, one of the bottom. So when we work on this one, the final one we're gonna see, we don't need to know which one's going to pop, because they are both part of the final loop, and all the components going to be used, two like here and one here, to make the final the final thing. So let's see here. So when the xenon arrives, it's trying to shoot cannons. Let's wait for the first loops to arrive. Okay, so we grab, it's gonna appear, we grab it, and we're going to position it at the bottom. Okay, and after that we're going to bring the heart in the center, and then we give the blue the request to finish the job. So we don't have any other choice but to build the molecule in this area. We don't use the top area at all, actually, and maybe we can make the loop smaller by picking it up down there. But so we rotate it again, go all the way from to the right, and then finish this. I just make big loops, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, we're gonna be limited by the input, and that's it. Then we unbind everything because it's one bond. If there was two bonds somewhere, it would be much more complicated. But I just unbind everything and rebind everything, and then the ammunition is ready. So the laser is firing the ammunition and it's being consumed. So there's one subtlety here is that the we have a sensor. I use the sensor here because even if you're loaded with xenon here, you see we have a lot of xenon here. We have we cannot fire cannons instantly after we get the molecule, and we actually make more of it than the cannon can fire. Alright, so I had a problem where this one was still here and not being consumed by the cannon, and by that time we have the next one already coming in. So for that reason, when we're sensing a molecule here and we're arriving here, so at the time where we're supposed to start, we are going to block in an infinite loop until the oxygen here, so this one actually, detected here is no more. You see we detect, we know that we can enter the cannon, and we can finish the loop here, okay? So let's see how it goes when this is happening. So we're gonna have some missed shots. So if we want to not miss the shots, I think we should just wait until we can just block here with the control, and then only allow the molecule to be finished when we want to fire. So not very interesting. So it's just gonna fire randomly and finish the job. We will be half-life by the time it's over. Yeah, and that concludes these planets of SpaceChem. See you in next episode for Atropos Station. It's funny because it's the same name as Infini Factory. Yeah, and there was one extra story thing. Is this one? If you want to read it, I think. Maybe this one as well. I think this one we saw it, so this is the one you missed. That's it. See you in next episode.